We've all experienced it. Driving on a busy freeway or street, you see litter piled up on the shoulders. There's fast food bags, plastic water bottles, empty coffee cups, and I'm sure there are many of us who have mindlessly littered without thinking of where the trash ends up. However, about 15 to 40% of littered plastic ends up in the ocean, causing ecological disasters such as the Great Pacific Garbage Patch and beaches that are covered in garbage. What needs to happen is a reduction in plastic pollution. Plastics don't break down, so they stay in the environment forever. And large percentages of produced plastic does not get recycled, ending up in landfills and oceans, killing animals and increasing environmental toxicity. And I'm choosing to focus on plastic water bottles specifically because they are not a necessity when living in a country like the US, which has safe tap water for nearly everybody. A direct quote from the article titled "Zero Calories" sums this up well. What's different about water, of course, is that it runs from taps in our sinks and from fountains in public spaces. And this relates to like other bottled beverages such as sodas or other things that may only be available in plastic bottles to the public. Some other statistics about Americans' usage of plastic water bottles is that we went through about 50 billion water bottles last year, which equates to about 167 per person. And the average recycling rate for the type of plastic used in water bottles is only 23%, which means we end up putting millions of water bottles a year into landfills. And it equates to more than $1 billion worth of plastic ending up there. It is also not cost effective to purchase plastic water bottles daily rather than using tap water, as they cost a lot more, and reusable water bottles, it's a one-time fee for endless usage. One example is that if you were to purchase the equivalent to 8 glasses of water a day in water bottles, annually that would cost about $1,400. But if you were using your tap, it would only cost about 49 cents a year. What I'm asking you to do is to change just one aspect of your life. It's not so drastic that it'll be difficult, but it might take some time to get used to. One step in starting off this process is to refuse buying plastic water bottles in general. Use a reusable water bottle while on the go and drink tap water while at home. If you can't completely refuse to use plastic water bottles, then at least reduce the amount you do use. For example, if you use plastic water bottles while at home and on the go, maybe you just cut back and drink tap water while at home. Also, if you do use them, make sure to reuse them as well and like refill or repurpose so that you're not only using them one time a pop. And also recycle. Make sure to recycle all the plastics that you use in life generally. And some critics may say that tap water doesn't taste as good or is like dirtier than bottled water, but actually the standards for tap water are checked more often than the quality standards for bottled water. And 24% of bottled water that is purchased in the US is actually repackaged tap water due to the popularity of Coke and Pepsi products. One thing that will happen if nothing is done is that what is going on in our world with plastic pollution will only get worse. Situations like the Great Pacific Garbage Patch will grow and increase in size, and toxins will become much more rampant throughout the ocean. Also, groundwater gets polluted due to landfills leaking toxins into the water, and that will only grow with how many plastic water bottles are being tossed into landfills. One good thing though is that there are many avid recyclers across the globe, and the popularity of reusable water bottles shows that not everybody relies on plastic water bottles in their daily lives. So what you should really do is please stop using plastic water bottles in your daily life and be sure to reduce, reuse, and recycle. It is not only better on your wallet, but it's better for the environment. And plastic water bottles are just an easy start to the process of living a greener life. But if you already don't use plastic water bottles, then maybe stop using other products with unnecessary plastic packaging, or start recycling and reducing the use of other things you normally put in the trash, such as cardboard, glass, and food scraps. That cuts down on the volume of things entering landfills in general. And if you already do all of this, just try to spread the word on living a less wasteful life and tell people about local recycling centers or on reducing and reusing waste products. Cutting back on using plastic water bottles is just a small step in the process of reducing plastic pollution in the world, but one small step is still a step in the right direction.